There's no doubt in my mind at all of the companies that we work with are actually looking now at some form of myopia management, not just in the contact lens space. We've got companies looking at them in the spectacle space. We've got a large number of trials ongoing with things like low-dose atropine. There is no doubt in my mind that it's going to become mainstream optometry in terms of managing young myopes in your practice. For me as a practitioner, knowing that the lifetime risk of a -6 myope developing retinal detachment and myopic maculopathy is too great for me to not have that conversation. We actually have an obligation to say to that parent and child, these are the options that are available. I'm not able to do that, but I think you need to go and see someone who can. And I really genuinely think that. Sometimes you do need to do some, smart thinking about problem solving. When it comes to patients with cylinders, a potential option would be to eliminate the spherical prescription by using a myopia control lens and actually put the cylindrical component in spectacles over the top. It is very important that we don't ignore the cils. If they've got 0.75, 1.25 sil, you don't want to be just correcting the sphere and saying, oh, well, myopia management is most important here. Correcting those cils is very important because otherwise you could potentially get meridional amblyopia, which is not what you want. What do you do if you have a child come into your practice who, for example, is above -6? There is some literature about the use of center distance multifocals. You would be using that off-label. They've not received approval for use in the control of myopia, but very solid, well-released data that shows that they do work. We're seeing increasingly now more companies bringing out spectacle lens options. At the moment, I think they're fairly limited, but we are seeing some spectacle lenses that are basically claiming fairly similar, 50 to 60% reduction in myopia progression. Those are already freely available in Asia, in particular in China and Hong Kong, but we don't have those over here yet. The other option, of course, is orthokeratology. And the final thing relates to pharmaceuticals. The most widely investigated myopia control being atropine. And we know that on the many studies now have shown that low-dose atropine is very effective at controlling myopia. At the moment, we are a little bit limited in the UK in terms of options, but that's certainly going to increase. As someone is very likely to bring out a commercially available low-dose pharmaceutical. For anyone who's interested actually in getting more information about the current state of myopia, so information that we have about myopia, how it's growing, what the potential risks are in terms of risks of pathology, particularly in later life, what results are available, peer-reviewed evidence on all of the studies undertaken, on all of the options for myopia management. The International Myopia Institute produced 7 documents that summarize the state of the art of where we are and our understanding of myopia and myopia management. Those consensus papers are freely available for review. You can go to the journal IOVS, Investigative Ophthalmology and Vision Science, and you can download those. So those are freely available for you yourself to decide what you want to believe about myopia and myopia management.